Social media has turned out to be a very important part of our lives. Most of people are spending hours on it every day, just scrolling and looking at each other's latest posts about their amazing holidays or their wonderful life. Social media founders are extremely smart, so smart that they actually were able to create a source of dopamine release activity through something completely digital. While scrolling on social medias and receiving a like from this friend that you've never heard of for the last couple of years, or a notification saying that your favorite content creator just uploaded another video on YouTube, your brain releases this famous little thing called dopamine. Dopamine is the hormone responsible for various actions and feelings, including happiness, and as every single drug, the consequence of scrolling through Instagram or waiting for that YouTube guy to upload a video is the same: addiction. I have read a lot about dopamine spike and dopamine itself, but I've never actually realized how bad the situation turned out. I was addicted. I was constantly comparing myself to others, and the only thing that I would take out of this would always be the same: there's no point, I'll never be as good as them anyways. And this would just end up in me stopping creating videos and leaving my goal and dream of becoming a YouTuber behind. On the other negative part of the consequences of my social media's addiction is the fact that I was completely ruining my life as a student. I'm a 4th year vet student and currently in the middle of my final season, and to be honest, I couldn't spend more than 30 minutes on a lecture without checking my Instagram and finding myself lost scrolling there after an hour. The fact that my lectures right now are extremely boring has something to do with it for sure, but my addiction is the same problem. But 2022 is the beginning of a new year with new resolution, and this is why for the next 30 days I will completely quit social medias. No Instagram, no TikTok, no Twitter. I don't even know how Twitter works anyways. And for the most important part for me, no YouTube. I will only be allowed to open my YouTube Studio app on my laptop in order to post a vlog, and this is it. I've read a lot of articles about how it is scientifically proven that social media detox can drastically improve your mental performances and happiness, so we'll see. And as I know myself, because I already tried, I am not putting a screen time limit on social media's app that I use every day on my phone, because I will simply click ignore for the day, and this is why I deleted all the apps from my iPhone, laptop. Well, I don't have social media there, so okay, fine. I'll also download a software that completely blocks out the URL of Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. The only social medias that I will keep are Messenger and WhatsApp, since this is the only way for me to be aware of what's happening in my university life, thanks to my friends, since I'm mostly always behind. Okay, and as I know how hard it will be to find an occupation when I'm done studying for the day, I've planned out a couple of things for myself. Reading. Same as studying, I've always found myself checking my social medias after maybe I've read 10 pages of a book, and I would always take up to a month before actually finishing only one book. So for the next 30 days, I challenge myself to finish at least 2 books that I ordered on Amazon. This one is one of them. Working on my skills. By skills I mean 2 main ones. First one is videography. I want to learn how to properly master my camera. And you know, we always say something that is quite true, that the best camera is the one you already have. It is quite true, even though we always are looking for more. I want to learn everything that I don't know yet about photography and videography, because you know, I'm a vet student, and vet student videography usually doesn't match. And the second skill is coding. As you may know, a year ago I started this challenge called the 100 Days of Code Challenge, which I almost finished. But as always, I started comparing myself to others, telling myself that my progress was not far enough compared to others, and therefore I stopped. But I decided to get back to it. And as I'm just done with a book called Ultra Learners, I discovered that there was plenty of free courses offered by what I can call the biggest university on earth, Harvard, MIT, and I discovered that it was a free computer science course offered from Harvard University. I hopped onto the course, and this is what I followed for the next 30 days. The last thing that I would want to integrate into my day when I'm done studying as an occupation is to get in some exercising for the day. It could be a short walk, it could be a home workout, or a short run. Has to be very short though, otherwise my lungs would just fall out of my body, but you got me. And now that the rules are clear, let's just get it started. What is up, guys? Today is day 1 of my social media detox. It currently is 7:30. I just woke up and it already feels really hard because I'm quite tired right now, and usually when I'm quite tired in the morning I scroll through social media, so through YouTube, to keep me awake, but I cannot. I'll have to find another way. I'm gonna make a cup of coffee now and maybe read a book or start the coding project offered by Harvard University. Let's do this. Honestly, the beginning of day one was quite hard, as I'm usually quite tired, and while waking up, as I said, I tend to go on my social medias, Instagram or YouTube, and either scroll or watch a video to keep me awake. But for this time, I had to find another solution. And the best I found was reading. It honestly felt hard to put myself to it, as I felt like I didn't have my morning dose of social medias and dopamine, but once I started, I literally couldn't stop before I finished the book, and that felt amazing. Throughout the day, I hopefully had a lot of studying to get done, so my mind was anyways quite busy. But even then, and this is how I can see that I was addicted, I kept on tapping on my phone just to check if I didn't get any notification from Instagram, even though I turned off Instagram's notification. My brain was just frustrated. It was only day one, but I could already realize some benefits of it. Even though my stress and anxiety about not being good enough didn't go away yet, well, I felt that my productivity definitely increased. I was able to vlog, edit the same vlog within the same day, which I usually never do. Also went on my small daily walk with my girlfriend, saw some awesome sunsets. But when I saw this pretty part of the sky, I thought it looked like something quite funny, and the first thing that came up to my mind was, oh, wait, grab your phone and put it on your Instagram story. People will like it. And then I realized that I don't care about if people like it. I like it and I enjoy it, and that's it. Well, day one was, I think, the hardest part of the 30 days experiment, but we'll see tomorrow. What's up, guys? Day 2 of the social media detox. It's currently 7:40. I woke up a couple minutes ago and made some breakfast, and I'm ready to read the book. I feel like it's easier now to include this habit of reading in the morning in my routine, and I'm very happy about this. I hope it will stick to my life for 2022. But yeah, I feel less lost than yesterday morning, because yesterday morning it honestly felt like I didn't know what to do with my life with all the social media, scrolling or so. I'll consider this as improvement, but it's only day 2 and there's 28 left to go. Let's do this. I honestly thought that day 2 would be easier after seeing how it dealt with day 1, but for some reason it just wasn't. I spent the whole day trying to study and get some work done, but through the whole day I felt like irritated, as if I was missing the dopamine that I get every day and every time when I scroll on social medias or watch a YouTube video. But I kept it strict and didn't open nor download any single app. The day went by pretty slow, to be honest, so it felt even harder. Plus, when I know that today is a day where a lot of vids are out on YouTube, and that I would usually procrastinate watching them throughout the whole day, it felt even harder. But I managed to occupy my mind pretty well and to read a lot of my new book, The Ego is the Enemy, which is very inspiring. Day 2 finally and hopefully came to an end, and even though it was hard, I was quite proud of how I managed to create some other source of activity at home, such as reading or scripting and working on YouTube videos, instead of falling back into the trap of spending half of my days on social medias looking for inspiration. Day 10 was, I think, a turning point in my detox from social medias. I felt that during this day I was far enough from Instagram and YouTube to just not think about it, nor check my phone every single minute to look up other people's pages. It was this day that I started to find inspiration in art, series and anime, since I decided to start watching my first anime, which I highly recommend you. For once, I wasn't finding inspiration from another content creator, but from cinematics from a Netflix show, color grade, color theme from my anime, and that honestly was the best feeling I've had in a long time. Since I started my content creation journey, I've had a lot of time where I would recreate themes and topics simply because I knew these were working well and getting some views, but without being focused on if I really enjoyed doing this kind of work. Now that I realized it, my approach to social medias and content creation started to change. Last week was the last day of my 30 days without any social medias, any content creation, and it kind of sounded impossible when you know that I was spending at least 6 hours a day on Instagram or YouTube watching videos and content creation. But it's done. In order to fill this challenge entirely, I did download Instagram again. I go back on scrolling through my page, through each other's posts, and reply to DMs, but I just felt guilty. I was just conscious and aware of how much time I was losing and wasting for my day, so I stopped. Now let's jump right into the conclusion of the 30 days detox. I've realized through the days what rules I was going to apply when the detox would be over, and here are my thoughts. So, throughout my experiment, I quickly noticed the great part of Instagram and YouTube, because yes, there are some great parts of social media. Even at my small amount of subscribers, which I dearly love and appreciate the support, I get contacted sometimes by Brent to get them some work done, and throughout the experiment I got contacted by one of them to get a small work done. Obviously Instagram was involved, and this is something very positive that I can take off these detox. It's just that Instagram or YouTube or social medias can be very powerful business tools for me as a beginner who's trying to grow a community out there and get a place in the videography world. It's also shown me the reason why I would not delete Instagram, because I think I could miss out on a lot of opportunities. The second thing that I realized throughout the experiment is that sometimes I want to learn a skill as a hobby, but not because it makes me happy or because it brings me dopamine, but simply because I know that it could possibly be useful for me in the future for some possible work. Now, when I was off social medias and that my source of dopamine needed to be resettled, I clearly had to find something that will just make me happy while doing it. And even though I mentioned coding in the introduction, this is not the skill I focused on. And I went back to my basics. I went back to my biggest challenge in life. I went back to skateboarding.
Lucid dreams, so I can't be out here living stupid. I love hard, so
with a complete different mindset, a thirst for progress, even though it is considered probably as one of the hardest sports in the world. I've had this source of adrenaline and dopamine that I was looking for in a hobby, and I'm really happy about it. For the reading part, well, this is a bit the disappointment of my social media detox. I planned to read 2 books during this month, and I only ended up reading one of them, which is already more than usual, but not the goal I was aiming for. And if I feel that good today, it's not only because of my social media detox and this time far from comparing myself, but also because of this book. This book highlighted exactly all the problems that I had in my life and offered some kind of solutions to it. This book is The Ego is the Enemy, and honestly, if you are a person like me who was constantly comparing yourself to others and underestimating your work, I think you should read this book and thank me later. Now, for the final rule that I have created, it is simply to get rid of all the useless social medias that exist out there. You know, the real infinite pool that drag you in this hole and keep you locked there for hours. And I name TikTok. Honestly, TikTok is the worst when it comes to comparing yourself and wasting your time. It has literally no benefits for me right now. I don't have any business to scale there, nor anything to post there. So I would just basically use it to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll every day. Now, TikTok is banned from my phone, as well as Twitter, and better this way, is they just are not good for me. Now, one thing that I would like to mention before ending this video is that doing this social media detox thing once doesn't change the way you are forever. And it is a constant work on yourself. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because after the 30 days, I got back onto social medias, Instagram and YouTube specifically. And for the first couple of days following the detox, I was able to control myself and to be aware that I was spending way too much time and that I was falling back into comparing myself to others, so I stopped. But the more days were passing by and the less I would be able to be aware of this, and the quicker I would fall into this trap, this addiction that I was trying to get rid of in my life. Hopefully now I have it in my mind and I'll keep my rules straight. It is very hard to install a routine or a habit in your life, but it's very easy to break it. So be careful. Well, I guess that's it. Now it's time for me to start creating when I enjoy creating. 2022 is a new year, new opportunities. I'm sure I can have a lot of them, and for once, I will not miss them. If you guys like this video, well, leave a like. We'll see each other in the next one. And well, if you feel like it, just subscribe to the channel. Peace.
I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me.